You can't explain it. Tamura'u. You can't explain to somebody what something tastes like, right? Something good. You have to taste it yourself.
I think you missed the goal. Must be a good read.
A Jew outside of Erets Yisroel is not in his proper place. Parnasa is also an issue. Person who has a fine parnasa in Chutz La'aretz and will have a trouble struggling in Erets Yisroel may take away all the milas of Erets Yisroel for that person. Klal Yisrael belong in Erets Yisroel. And therefore, if our ancestors had the ability to come to Erets Yisroel the way we do today, right, just to spend some money, get on a plane, relocate, there's not one Jew who would have remained in Europe. And if more religious Jews would come here, the country here would look different because the whole demographics would change, and the majority would be here, would be from, then the government would also be a more from government. So instead of sitting in Chutz La'aretz and complaining about what the government's doing here, come here and change it.
Buy an apartment. Did you buy that apartment yet? Buy the apartment. It's not going to get cheaper.
Are we in Yemos HaMashiach?
If you ask me if I hear his footsteps, I hear his footsteps. We're in the Zman called Ikvus of the Mashiach, the very end of Golus before Mashiach comes. What's happened since October 7th, and even in America, where all over America anti-Semitism is raising its ugly head, and even or mostly by the elite, intelligentsia, college campuses or whatever, I think Jews have to wake up and see that even America, which was a very, very sweet galus, and a land that afforded Jews tremendous amount of freedom, it's not forever. Somebody who has the opportunity to have that tremendous mitzvah of Erets Yisroel, which is shkula keneged kol ha-mitzvos. It's equal weight in all the mitzvahs living in Erets Yisroel. So somebody who has the opportunity to do that and ignores it flippantly, out of hand, obviously is not functioning like a frum Jew should function. A Jew outside of Erets Yisroel is not in his proper place, but they should feel they're being there not because they want to be there. They're there because circumstances prevent them from getting the mila and having the schus of living in Erets Yisroel. And therefore, he should always have a plan, a contingent plan, to be able to pick up and move as fast as he can if the situation gets to be one where it's impossible to remain there. I think every Jew in Chutz La'aretz has to realize that they're only there temporarily. Sometimes the Rebbeinu Shem gives us signs that we're becoming too complacent and too settled in a golus and thinking that that's really where we belong. And then he gives us signs that maybe that's not where we belong and that's not where we should be complacent. The events since the Holocaust have been leading up the fact that we have Erets Yisroel back and the fact that Jews have come. There's a certain kibbutz golios that's taking place, and that Erets Yisroel is being built up, and there's tremendous rebirth of the economic and the rebirth of the land, legabe its crops. There's a sign that something's happening. And the fact that the whole world now is against us seems to be what the Torah says, the Navi says is going to be Gogu Magog. The whole world's going to come against Erets Yisroel. So events seem to be progressing very quickly towards some end. And that end, we're promised, is going to be a very happy ending. So whether Mashiach is here or not, or on the way or not, is irrelevant. The same mitzvah to live in Erets Yisroel applies whether Mashiach is coming, not coming. It's not the ikr. But if people want to be part of what's going on and be part of what the Rebbeinu Shalom gave us, a tremendous present, and halavai, it's in order to reach that level of Bias HaMashiach, then you don't want to be on the sidelines looking in. You want to be part of it and be here and be part of what's developing.
Today, before Mashiach comes, would there be an added benefit or a reason that a person should come to Eretz Yisrael, even if he's learning Torah well in Chutz La'aretz?
You can't explain it. Ta'amura'u. You can't explain to somebody what something tastes like, right? Something good. You have to taste it yourself. And people who know, who come here as tourists at least, know when they're here, they have that extra special feeling. And when they go back, they know that they lose that feeling. And if you're here constantly, right, and you're attuned to it, and you want to feel that feeling, you'll feel that feeling every single day. Limud Torah in Erets Yisroel. Ain't Torah keTorah Eretz Yisroel. It's a different Torah. It's a different learning. It's the same person who goes to a Daf Yomi in Chutz La'aretz, coming to a Daf Yomi in Eretz Yisrael is a different Daf Yomi, a different Torah, a different Tam in Torah. You have a special closeness to Hashem, and anybody who lives here can tell you that in their personal lives, they feel that the Ribono Shel Olam is there guiding them, is there. There's a constant reminder in Eretz Yisrael, both as a nation and as individuals, that the Ribono Shel Olam is always there. Sometimes in Chutz La'aretz, you don't necessarily feel that all the time unless you make a tremendous effort to push yourself to feel it. Eretz Yisrael is Eretz Asher Eini Hashem Elokecha Ba Mereishis Hashana Ve'Arach Rishon. There's a special Hashgacha Pratis in Eretz Yisrael. You should know there's no mitzvah chiyuvis to wear tzitzis. But I don't know of too many frum people who don't wear tzitzis. If you have the opportunity to put on a garment with four corners and have the mitzvah of tzitzis, everybody runs to do it. There's two mitzvahs that you fulfill with your entire body. One is the mitzvah of sukkah, right? Your whole body goes into the sukkah. And the other is a mitzvah of Erets Yisroel. I always like to say it's even more than that. In the sukkah, the ground is not really part of the mitzvah, just the walls and the roof. In Erets Yisroel, not only is the whole surrounding and what's above part of the mitzvah, what you're standing on is also part of the mitzvah. It's even better than the sukkah. Parnasa is also an issue. Person who has a fine parnasa in Chutz La'aretz and will have a trouble struggling in Eretz Yisrael may take away all the milas of Eretz Yisrael for that person and cause too much stress on his family, and he'll lose out on all the milas of Erets Yisrael because of the shalom bayis that won't be there and all of the worries because of a lack of parnasa. Every single Jew, as they have for thousands of years since the Churban, have dreamed and longed to return to Eretz Yisrael. That dream and that longing has to be even when Golus is sweet. If everybody would realize that, barring any reasons why for them it's impossible, they would be the next day in Eretz Yisrael, then if you live like that, then first of all, you'll live in Chutz La'aretz, a life that is similar to the kind of life that's conducive in Eretz Yisrael. And secondly, when the conditions become possible, you'll pick up and move to Erets Yisroel. If you have no desire, you have no reason to think that there's something special about living in Erets Yisroel, then even if the conditions were ideal, there's no reason for you to come here, and that's something that is against the entire framework of what Klal Yisrael is.
Thank you again, Rabbi Leff. Your words give us a lot of chizuk, chazak v'amatz. I appreciate your time. May we be zoichet together to see the Bias Goyal Tzedek Meheir v'Ameinu Amen. Yasher Koach.
Amen, amen. And you keep up your good work.
Thank you. Kol tov.
Just so you know, you doing, I'm following what you're doing. It's just brilliant. It's just very, very beautiful because your geschmack is unbelievable. I must enjoy you a lot.
Rabbi Tuvia Singer, thank you for joining us. Right now, American Jewry is in shock. New York just elected Zoran Mamdani, a Shia 12er Muslim. Fear is spreading, and many Jews are beginning to feel like, is this the end of an American chapter?
Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Rabbi Singer. Shavua Tov, good Shabbos. You know, I did not record that section.
I did, as it turns out.